What is time? Can it be bought and sold? Wrangled and controlled? Is there a distinction between rhythm and time? Does it even matter? Atop of a Song.
Just what month was it that we did that?
It was April, as part of the general sessions for Fiverr in the Atlantic School of Spontaneous Composition's recording session, and the band undertook recording the subtle smash hit, June Like a Bug.
I just remember how frustrated Simone was that we were recording it in April and how disingenuous it felt.
The song is a poem about a seasonal shift in mood. The singer literally pleads with time, the month of July.
July goes easy.
For me, that part of the year when everything external to me is bursting can be difficult because a lot of the time internally I don't feel a parallel growth.
After several unimpassioned takes in the studio, Schmidt asked that every watch, clock, and phone be pushed forward to June.
Yeah, I mean, there was just something that wasn't syncing up.
It's really hard to change the date on smartphones and computers.
Atop of a Song. Schmidt had originally considered the production of the song somewhat like Bobby Gentry's Bugs.
Yeah, you can hear the vestiges of the bossa nova guitar at the beginning of the song. It's very sped, so slowed down. But when I brought the song to the band to arrange, Jared and Bianca did this kind of playing that I never would have imagined. We wound up with the situation where the bass is just driving it. And then you get this weird beat. And that's the advantage of playing with someone like Bianca, because her voicing is so distinct.
My grandfather was a swing drummer. My father studied jazz but pursued country music, as well as my aunt, but went back to more free music. And like my uncles all played in, folk and country ballads. All of that was based out of where they were from, like being country bumpkins from Nova Scotia, but I grew up with hand-me-down tapes from my sisters. In this day and age, there's so much crossing of genres and traditions that there is almost like a beautiful freedom to playing in all different avenues of what music can be.
Upon listening to a playback midway through the session for June Like a Bug, Schmidt began worrying about whether or not the homonym on the break would be better conveyed through literal production.
Simone was like, will they know it's a steak, S-T-E-A-K, and then S-T-A-K-E?
So we were recording steaks being fried and such, and then I just realized that we could convey the idea through music.
Oh, that's a song where Bianca plays brushes on. Well, every time I feel like that texture comes in on any of our recordings, it sounds very unique and it's really cool.
I like to say that I have creative hearing and creative comprehension. I play with understanding through painting pictures in my mind.
Ultimately, I'm ambivalent about whether or not people know what I'm saying, because that's the freedom of poetry. You can return to it over and over again, and it can assume multiple meanings.
To express that ambivalence, Schmidt initiated an emotionally controlled phaser on this portion of the track, enlisting the mind states of the rest of the band. The electronic phasing effect is created by splitting an audio signal into two paths. One path connected to Jeremy's brainwaves treats the signal with an all-pass filter, which preserves the amplitude of the original signal, connected to Nick's brain and alters the phase. The amount of change in phase depends on the frequency, which is controlled by Bianca's brain. When signals from the two paths are mixed, the frequencies that are out of phase will cancel each other out, creating the phaser's characteristic notches.
So we got to use it and it just sounds like unreal, otherworldly.
It's the power of
positive actualization made flesh.
And so it was, and so it is, that June Like a Bug, off of Fiverr in the Atlantic School of Spontaneous Composition, was recorded. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Atop of a Song. Listen to the music.